All parties in the matter of Wiskovich versus Griggs. Step forward.
19-year-old Army reservist Daniel Reese Wiskovich is suing his ex-girlfriend, 21-year-old waitress Christy Griggs, for a loan to buy a truck and for the return of a shoebox containing important papers.
How old are you, sir?
19.
And you?
21.
She used to be your girlfriend. According to your complaint, she owes you for a car loan that you gave to her. She made partial payment to you of that car loan. You want the rest.
Yes, ma'am.
The defendant says that your agreement was that when she got a settlement, some sort of settlement check, you would take partial payment, and that the remainder of the money that you gave her for her truck was really for money that she had laid out to support you for the time that you were together. Quid pro quo. You also say that she has other personal property that belongs to you, and that personal property was contained in some sort of a shoebox where you kept your papers, including a promissory note that you allege she signed for the money that you gave her. How old were you when you met Miss Griggs?
I was 17.
Were you living at home?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever live together?
Yes, we lived together. She moved in my father's house with me.
Okay, tell me about this loan for the truck.
Okay, well, she was involved in a car accident in the beginning of August of 2003, and she broke her neck in the car accident. So she was out of work for a while, collecting disability and everything. We gave her a place to stay. When it was coming time for her to start driving again, going back to work, she had no vehicle. So we went and looked at some cars, and we were talking about how much I was going to need to loan her, when she could pay me back, how she was going to pay me back.
Well, how did she say she was going to pay you back?
She was going to give me the first check she received for her car being totaled, which is what she paid me with the first of the $2,400 she did give me towards the loan.
Okay,
so,
and how was she going to pay the rest?
She's going to pay the rest as soon as she received the final settlement, like the lump sum of the settlement from her injuries.
Tell me about this promissory note that you allege.
It was actually, we were on the way home one day from the bank when she did give me the money, and she was giving me cash, so I was like, we need to come up with some kind of way to prove that you did pay me some of this money towards this $6,000. And we agreed, and she's actually the one who wrote out the promissory note, and we both signed the agreement, and we put it away in my shoebox, which is where I keep all my bills, just real important papers, and that was that.
When did Miss Griggs move out of your father's house?
I believe it was in January sometime, when I was getting ready to leave for the Army.
Were you still a couple?
No, ma'am, we were not.
When did that happen?
I believe in January sometime, I was going to be leaving, and it was kind of a mutual thing in a way. So.
And you don't have the promissory note anymore? You
no, ma'am, I do not.
She came and took it?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Do you have any witnesses to that?
My father, yes, ma'am.
Step up, sir. Tell me what you know about Miss Griggs and the property that she took from your home.
Well, until this situation happened, I always thought very nice of Christy. You know, she broke her neck, we took her in, we had a hospital bed, and I took care of all the bills. I had no money. All she had to do was come up with her own gas money for her vehicle. I went on vacation with my daughter to North Carolina in July. When I came back, I started cleaning up the room, and there was a couple of shoe boxes. I called her up, arranged a time for her to come over, and she came by. I said, Christy, how are you doing? I said, here's some stuff right here. And she looked at it, grabbed it, went to the car, door was open, she came back in. I can hear her opening the filing cabinet, closing the filing cabinet. You know, at this point in time, I still didn't know about this promissory note. I would have never let that fly to begin with.
Okay. Have a seat, sir.
Right.
Okay. First of all, you acknowledge he gave you $6,000.
Right.
And he indicates that $2,400 was repaid. Okay, explain to me why you don't owe him for the rest.
Well, from the time that we started dating, he was working little like dead-end jobs, like a pizza place and a warehouse, and I would take him to work most of the time. Money that he didn't have for, like, he wanted to get his car painted, and I gave him money to get the car painted.
You were living for free.
Correct.
According to you, you supported him. You didn't support him. His family supported you.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you take the paperwork from the house in August?
No, ma'am.
Had you signed a promissory note and a note that said that you would repay the $2,400 in cash?
No, ma'am.
So when you gave him the $2,400 in cash, he gave you no receipt, despite the fact that, you know, things happen, relationships can go awry. You weren't concerned.
No, ma'am.
Because you trusted him.
Correct.
Well, he trusted you to pay him back the rest, and you owe him $3,600, and you're going to pay him the $3,600 because that's what you owe him. The rest is nonsense. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,600. That's true.
Parties are excused. You may step out. That's case number 440 on the calendar, the matter of Craig versus Jackson. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, ladies. Have a seat.
Miss Craig, it is your claim that this young lady over here assaulted you after a sporting event. When was this event?
This was on November the 12th, 2004.
Where?
At Washington Marion High School in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Is that where you live?
No, ma'am. I live about 2 hours away in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
You got there by bus? Or
It was a charter bus. It was a lot of us that came up. It was like a football game that see who goes to a championship or whatever.
Whose team won?
My high school.
So you were pretty happy.
Yes, I was pretty happy.
Your team lost.
Yes, ma'am.
You were not so happy.
No, ma'am.
According to what I read, your brother is also on that team. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Miss Craig, what happened after the game?
After the game, me and my friends and a couple of us who were riding on the bus, we were walking back to the bus. My friend who was with me, she's a witness, well, she was pretty excited because her brother plays on the team. And we were all walking from out of the gate, and this lady, she comes from nowhere, and she's like, "You better get on that bus." And I turned around, and I was like, "Why are you talking to us?" And before I can finish talking, this girl hits me.
Where did she hit you?
She hit me on my head, and I just remember falling back like this, and she just started pulling my hair.
What happened next?
I can just feel her just pulling in my hair. It all went by so fast. I dropped my phone. I didn't know I had dropped it at the time. By the time I got on the bus, I decided to call the phone just to make sure it was missing and not with me at the time. And I called the phone. She picked it up, and she said, "You want to come over here and fight? This phone belongs to Lake Charles. This is not your phone anymore."
What kind of injury did you suffer, Miss Craig?
There wasn't any type of bruises or anything. She just pulled out my hair.
Pulled out a clump of hair?
A lot of hair. I have pictures to show that also.
Can I see it, please?
Sure.
I'm listening.
When this happened,
I want you to listen to me. I want you to look right here when you're talking, not at the floor.
All right. When this happened, we were leaving the football stadium.
Who was we?
Me and my mother and my sister and my brother. So I was standing there, and she said she was going to her bus, but her bus was behind her. So obviously she wasn't going to her bus. She was looking for something. She was looking for trouble or whatever, because she came confronting us talking about we won, we won.
So she said to you, "We won." Go ahead.
And she was in my face. And I'm the type of person, if you in my face, you invade my my privacy. So when she was in my face, she was telling me we won, we won. So I told her to get out of my face. And when she rammed up against me, we started fighting. When I got on top of her, she started choking me. And to keep her from choking me, I defended myself by biting her.
She's lying, Your Honor.
Do you think I believe you? Do you think I believe you?
No, I don't know if you believe me or not.
Don't know. You're going to find out.
Hello, Your Honor. I'm the witness, Nakia. And
Nakia, you have a last name.
Nakia Porter. And just as Brittany stated, it was my brother that played on the football team, and Brittany just attended the high school. So I was the one that was saying, "Yeah, we won, and we were going to the championship." And that's when...
So you were excited?
Yes, ma'am. I was excited. I was the one saying, "Yeah, we won the championship." I was nowhere in her face. We were walking to the bus. And that's when Tamaya approached Brittany and hit Brittany.
So Brittany wasn't saying we won.
Saying anything.
Miss Jackson, you want to say anything?
Yes, Your Honor.
I want you to be very sure of something.
Yes.
Certain things make sense in the scheme of life, and certain things don't make sense in the scheme of life. So if you're not going to tell me what happened on the 12th of November, based upon what you observed, and if you're going to try to cover for your daughter, I suggest you say nothing. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You have anything you want to say to me?
I sure do.
How many times was your daughter arrested prior to November 12th?
Once.
For what?
For stealing some shoes.
And how many times has she been suspended from school?
Oh, about 4 times.
Now, you want to know something? I don't have any of those records. But I can tell from her attitude, from the way she holds herself, that she's a troublemaker. You want to know how? Because I've been in the business longer than you've been her mother. So I know she's a troublemaker. Now, how many of those suspensions from school, which are very easily verified, have been for fighting?
All of them.
How'd I know that? I ask you these questions before you're going to testify, Miss Jackson, so I don't have to humiliate you. Do you understand?
Yes.
You still want to talk to me?
Yes.
I'm listening.
Okay, first of all, Brittany should have never came to where we were at to fight with Tamaya. She is the one. She had a purse in her hand swinging it in Tamaya's face.
Bull. Didn't happen.
Yes, it did, Your
No.
Honor. Yes.
Didn't happen. Didn't happen. Your daughter is a bully troublemaker. Young lady, you've been suspended from school 4 times for assault.
But me
Did
being,
you learn the foot? Did you
but
learn
me
the
being suspended
Listen
doesn't have
to me.
anything to do with her.
Listen to me. Oh, yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Got it?
Because for one
Got
thing,
it?
by her being 19
You
years
got
old,
it?
I'm 16 years old. She don't have no business fighting me anyway.
You outweigh her probably by 40 pounds.
It don't matter though.
You outweigh
It
her
don't
probably
matter
by
though.
40 pounds.
And she got what she asked for too.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your daughter has some serious personality disorder, and maybe it has to be addressed with not only therapy, but medication.
She's in a therapy already.
Well, it's not working.
And later today,
Your mother gave you the money because your great aunt hit you on the head with a broom before she died?
4 days before she died, yeah.
You better get a life.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 19-year-old Brittany Craig says 16-year-old Tamaya Jackson beat her up after a high school football game. Tamaya claims Brittany was in her face.
Miss Jackson, you're not going to have any pleasure from this girl unless you take her by her hand and get her involved in some serious therapy that she's perhaps going to learn from. Otherwise, you're going to be cleaning up after her messes for a very long time.
Your Honor,
And
I
I'm
do not
speaking-
clean up
I'm-
behind her messes. She's in a therapy already.
Well, it's not working. And if you make excuses for her bad behavior, it will never work.
I do not make excuses for her bad behavior.
Well, you did today.
Excuse me, can I say something?
Sure.
What I do is on my own. If I do it, I'm gonna do it because I want to do it, not because anybody tells me to do anything. I don't need a therapist for nothing. If I want to fight, I'm gonna fight. If I don't, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Got it?
Got
If
it.
you don't get it, you should get it. Because I don't know how old she is, 17, 16?
16.
16? Maybe, unlikely, but there's always a chance that you can turn the behavior around. You won't have that chance unless you understand that your daughter has some serious personality disorder that really has to be addressed. And maybe it has to be addressed with not only therapy, but medication. But until you recognize that, she's gone. She's lost. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount requested, $2,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She lied and said something about I pulled her hair out her head, and her hair don't have nothing to do with me and her fighting.
I feel like there was justice. Justice was served. My daughter, she doesn't
Business owner Scott Wilkins for the cost to fix her 2002 Chevy Cavalier. Miranda says her dad accidentally backed the car into his own vehicle.
What's your first name?
Miranda,
How old are you, Miranda?
17.
And this is your mother.
Yes.
And this gentleman is your dad.
Yes.
Your dad was doing some work on your car and had an accident with it and put a little dent in the car. So you're suing him to fix the car. Father says he was more than willing to take care of it, to take it over to a body shop and have it fixed. You want it taken to the dealership where you bought the car so that it could be fixed by the same dealership that makes the car. Is that the idea?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. So I have a few questions for you, Miranda.
17-year-old Miranda Wilkins says her father, Scott Wilkins, backed her car into his own vehicle.
How long are your parents divorced?
A year.
Was it difficult for you?
No.
You live with your mother?
Yes.
What kind of a car do you have?
2002 Cavalier.
Who paid for the car?
They got it out of closing money of the house.
Who paid for the car?
Mom and Dad.
It's very nice of them.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Wilkins, you were doing some work on your daughter's car. What kind of work were you doing on your daughter's car?
I was changing her oil and rotating her tires, and I was putting brakes on.
Had she asked you to do that for her?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So your father's working on your car. What happened, Mr. Wilkins?
I just kind of got in a hurry, and I had a head cold, and I'd forgotten.
No, you'd listen to me. Got to talk slowly so I can understand you, sir.
I'm sorry. I got done with changing her brakes, and then I was going to test them out, and I'd forgotten that I had pulled my truck down behind it. When I backed up, I backed into my front of my truck is what happened.
And how much damage was done to the car?
It put a dent in the back right quarter pounder, about the size of your fist.
Can I see it? You have the picture?
Yes.
It's kind of hard to see. It's a black car.
Well, I'll take a look at it. I want to see the kind of damage that would bring a daughter to a position where she is bringing her father to court to pay for a dent
There wasn't
in a car.
anything.
Shh.
Sorry.
So far, you're not losing, right?
Oh, that's...
Right?
Right.
In a car that he bought for her.
Yes.
Okay, well, certainly is drivable. I'm not exactly sure where this dent is. Where is it? Back here someplace?
It's in front of the tire, and then there's this scrape that's where you first pointed.
In front of the tire, and then there's a scrape. Okay. Now, did you tell your daughter you would fix the car?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you tell her?
I told her about a body shop that I knew of. I go by pretty regular, and I seen their work, but I told her I'd fix it, and we'd go by there and get an estimate.
What happened?
Well, first couple times I tried to get her to go over and do it. She had something to do, but then she went over by herself. I was going to meet her over there, and she just didn't like the place for some reason, just wouldn't have anything to do with it.
What happened, Miranda?
I just didn't like it because there's some people that's my age working on it, and I didn't want them to work on my car.
You're not marrying them, my darling. Somebody's going to pull a dent out of your car with a thing that, a plunger that they put on the car.
She actually went twice, and the first time the guy told her to come back, and the second time she went, they were really rude to her.
Well, she's not going to bring the car there. Her father's going to bring the car there. What does she have to go over there for? Why did you go over there instead of letting your father go over there?
So they could get an estimate on the car.
Why didn't you let your father take it over?
Because Mom told me not to let him drive my car.
Why?
Because the insurance, I paid for it, it's in my name and Miranda's name.
So?
And he had already backed into his truck, and no offense, I know his driving record. I was married to him for 18 years. And Miranda could have just met him over there, and she tried to get him to meet him over there, and when she would call,
So why can't you take
available.
the car and have it fixed?
Just whenever available.
Well, let's make a date. Not you and me. Miranda, my dear, listen to me very carefully. Your parents don't get along anymore. They're divorced. Be a smart girl. Don't take sides. Nothing is as black and white as it appears. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Your father may not love your mother anymore, but that doesn't mean he doesn't love you. And it's the wrong thing to do to sue him. It's the wrong thing to do to take him to court. It's the wrong thing to do to listen to your mother when she says, don't let your father drive the car. That's malicious. And you shouldn't be involved in that, and you shouldn't put your daughter in that position. Ever. Put a period, move on with your life, and don't visit hostility that you may have through her to him. That's not fair. That's not fair to do to your children. Your father's going to take the car and he's going to have it fixed where he wants to take it, because he's your parent. Do you understand, madam?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. I'm going to do this for you, sir. I'm going to give you 2 weeks from today to fix the car.
That's plenty of time. I would
2 weeks from today to fix the car. Is that reasonable? Reasonable? Hmm?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you seen your father since this whole brouhaha? Okay. Just remember, he still loves you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And in 2 weeks, he's going to get your car back good as new, and maybe he'll even detail it for you. Give him a hug. Give him a hug. Okay, that's it. Bye-bye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He should fix the car, and he is, and that's good. He has a date, but it should have already been done.
Yes, case number 384 on the calendar in the matter of Harris versus Randall. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat, please.
Miss Harris, you and Miss Randall were neighbors, and according to your complaint, Miss Randall assaulted you over a parking space. Miss Randall acknowledges that there was some sort of a tiff, but she says that you got into her personal space, whatever that means. Okay. Had you been friendly with the defendant prior to this incident?
Yeah, actually, when she just moved in, I was kind of excited because I'm married with kids, and I'm young, I'm 21, and I saw that they were young, so I said, hey, you know, there's people I could talk to that live right downstairs. So
how many units are in the building?
4. I have pictures.
What I want to know is, this argument happened over a parking space. So why don't you tell me what happened on the 29th?
Okay, on the 29th, Shaniqua, she was parked in my spot. And,
in your parking space?
In my parking spot.
You have assigned spots?
Yes.
Okay.
I knocked on their door to ask her to move, and nobody answered. This was something that kept on happening. It was a recurring problem. So I called my parents. I said, they're still bothering me about this spot. And my mother said, you know what, Tatiana, you've spoken to them before about parking in your spot.
Spoken to them before?
Yeah, from the first time they moved in.
Both of them?
Yes. I told them that we have reserved parking spots. I introduced myself and everything. I was being really friendly with them. So they noticed, and the first day they moved there, actually, I think one of their friends or somebody was parked in my spot, and that's when I said, yeah, we have reserved spots, so could they move? I asked nicely.
And did they move?
Yeah. They got really mad, though, and then they moved.
What was the problem with parking in her spot?
It wasn't me that was parking in her spot. It was my roommates.
Well, who were your roommates?
Shaniqua. She's my roommate. Well, and she's never came to me with the problem about us parking in our spot. Only one time she had asked me to move.
Step up. Why did you park in her spot?
When I parked in her parking space, it was at like 3 o'clock in the morning. When
I don't care whether it was 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning. Why did you park in her space?
There were no open spaces. I parked in her parking spot. I figured, okay, she has 2 kids. If she's not home at 3 o'clock in the morning, I figured that she wouldn't be parking there. So I parked in her parking spot.
Sit down. What?
Just shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah, it sure is. Okay, so this is the morality monitor. If you're not home, you should be home. If you're not home, then I'm parking in your spot. Right. Okay. So they were parked in your spot again. You called your parents, and you told your parents, and evidently one of your parents called the police, and the car was towed.
No, I actually called the police.
What happened?
The police came over. My dad came over first, and then I said, Dad, can you come there with me? Because I didn't want to start anything. Because I've never been in a fight before. I'm not a fighting person. Okay. So my dad came over. We knocked on their door. That was the second time. They were home, and Shaniqua was in my spot. And we were knocking on the door, but nobody answered the door. The cops came. I have this report also.
Can I see the police report?
The cops came, and they banged on the door for a while. Nobody answered the door. So after everybody left, because they said, okay, obviously they're not answering the door, and you can't legally have the car towed. So they said all we could do is just ask them not to park there again, and then they'll give them a violation or something. So then after they left, about 2 hours later, I said, you know what, let me go back downstairs and I'll see if somebody opens the door. So I knocked on the door, and that's when Shaniqua opened the door, and I said, what's up with you in my spot? I said, you guys keep on parking there, you know, and I've asked you numerous times not to park there. So I was talking to her for a little while, and I said, so can you please move your car? And they say the same thing all the time. I'll move in a little bit. I'll move in a little bit. I'm going to work anyway. And I said, you know, don't park there. There's other parking spots. Why park there? Then she said, well, you weren't home anyway, so I saw it was free. I said, no, listen, it's my parking spot. It's reserved, so it's never free for you. So then she said, well, I'm leaving. I'm going to work in a little bit anyway.
Who said that to you? Which one?
Shaniqua.
Yeah. That one.
So I said, well, listen. I said, you're in your nightgown. I said, I'll give you 10 minutes to get dressed, but after that, I'm going to call the tow company to come tow your car if you don't move. So, and I was just saying that so she could move her car and see I was serious.
Perfectly reasonable. Will you get to the assault, please?
Sorry, she slammed the door on my face. I went back upstairs. So a couple hours passed, and then I heard bang, 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 bang on my door. And I was like, what's going on? So I grabbed the phone because I don't have any friends, so nobody should be coming over my house. So I grabbed the phone, I walked downstairs. I said, I wonder who's knocking on my door. So I opened the door, and she was standing right there screaming at me, Tamika.
What was she screaming?
She was screaming at me saying that I disrespected her by saying that I'd have her car towed if she parked in my spot, and that she'll park there anytime she wants to, and if I do anything about it, she'll kick my butt up and down the street. Then she was making fun of me, yelling out profanities and everything. And she was saying, "What's really good? What's really good? Come on, what's really good?" That's what she was saying, trying to make me fight her, and I wasn't about to fight her. And the whole time that she was screaming at me, I was dialing the police. That's the first people I called, because I knew that if I called them, they'd come.
At what point did she touch you?
Oh, okay. So now I'm dialing a whole lot of people. I'm sorry. Okay, and then she said, "Yeah, I'll beat you up." So she's going on and on how she's gonna fight me. And just then she punched me in my mouth and then pushed me into my neighbor's door, and that's when the whole fight started.
Tatiana Harris says former neighbor Tamika Randall punched her in the face over a parking spot. Tamika says Tatiana asked for it.
Now, why did you go to her house?
Okay, I received a phone call from Shaniqua saying that Tatiana called the police. However, I was not home when the police came to my house. I was away in Pennsylvania for the weekend. Okay. So when I came home, I got the phone call from Shaniqua saying, "Oh, Tatiana called the police. They came to the house and they said that we just wasn't answering the door." So I'm like, "What do you mean she called the police?" Well, she said because I parked in her spot, meaning Shaniqua.
Just slow down, please.
Oh, I apologize. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go talk to her about it, you know. So I knocked on the door. I was not yelling or anything. I asked her, you know, what was going on. She got very nasty, and it was uncalled for because before that we were friends, you know. She went drinking.
So she got nasty. Go ahead.
She got nasty. So at that point, I got nasty back, you know. We started yelling at each other. At that point, I turned around and actually went back into the house, closed my door. She stood outside, continuing to yell and everything else. So I came back outside. Like she said, the doors are very close. So I can stand on the edge of my, you know, by my door and still see her by her apartment and still actually be kind of close to her. She was standing, like in the hall.
Try looking in my eyes. Don't look at your shoes.
I was not looking at my shoes. I can't see my shoes.
Over here.
However, she was
you're
standing
looking
on
over
the
there.
cement.
I'm telling you, look over here.
However, she was standing at the cement, on the cement, and I'm in my apartment.
Not over there, over here.
I'm in my apartment, and she's still yelling at me, all in my face. You know, I thought she was gonna hit me, so I hit her.
Good.
That's when the fight started.
Good. You can't hit her. I don't care what you think.
Whatever.
I don't care. Whatever. What? Shh. I don't think that they get it. I don't want to hear you. Do you understand that? That come from that back there?
Mm-hmm.
Get him out of. You, out. I'm going to say 3. 1. Good. Thank you. Thank you very much. You want to participate in the decision-making process, go on Jerry Springer. Not here. This is a court. Maybe a television court, but it's a court. So behave yourselves. Do I make myself clear? Perfect. You have no right to touch her. Clear? Not whatever. Clear, Miss Attitude?
Whatever.
What an idiot. Let me ask you this question, my dear.
Sure.
How old are you?
21.
What do you do for a living?
I take care of disabled adults.
In a home for disabled adults?
A group home.
Tell me what kind of training you had to do that.
You have to take recertifications. Like,
what do you mean? First, you have to get certified. Before you take a recertification,
yes,
you have to get certified.
Pardon me.
What kind of certification do you need to take care of disabled adults?
You have to learn how to give meds and all like little classes to teach them how to assist with daily living and things like that.
And what kind of temperament do you have to work with disabled adults?
You have to be patient.
Patient. What else?
Kind.
What else?
And you have to be able to teach them. And I am all of those things.
Patient and kind?
Yes, I am. Oh. Regardless of what you say or think.
Okay, so you're punched in the mouth. Did you go to the doctor?
Yes.
Can I see the report, please? Thank you.
And from that day, the 29th, that night, I went to stay with my parents. So I went with my kids and everything to my parents' house, and we stayed there until I moved into my
How many
other
children
apartment.
do you have?
2.
How old are they?
2 and 1.
Where's their father?
He's watching them. We're married.
Okay, so you went with your husband to your parents' house?
Yes.
And your 2 children?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
her husband was not around or even in the picture.
And that's exactly why they felt that they could harass me, because he wasn't there.
Let me ask you this question.
Sure.
Why did your roommate and or you disrespect her private space by parking in her parking space?
However, it wasn't me that disrespected her. The only time I might have parked in her spot is when we first moved in with, or had trucks and stuff moving my stuff out. I mean, at that time, my car was never parked in her spot. I had no problem parking down the way to walk to my apartment. It was never an issue for me. Now, Shanique, on the other hand, I have nothing to do with that. My problem was that I felt she should have came to me. I mean, my mother co-signed for this apartment.
Just a second, so you felt that she should have come to you. You weren't there.
No, exactly. So why not wait for me to come home? Neither was Shaniqua. That didn't stop her from calling the cops.
Oh, she was there.
She was home after the fact.
She was there. She was there.
After the fact.
She was there. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. They step out.
It's ludicrous, but you know what? I don't mind her getting the money. She obviously needs it.
Obviously, they weren't doing the right thing, because you could just tell by how they speak. They can't even talk correctly.
Whatever. It's over and done with. It's not a big deal.
She's really, really extremely hyper.
You have nothing better to do with yourself than to call the police over a parking spot.
She got in my face and punched me and hit me, and then we got into a fight over stupidness.
Park in your own spot, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't fight. There's no reason.
And
All
now
parties in the matter of Logan versus Logan. Step forward, please.
Warehouse worker Brian Logan is suing his mother, business owner Christine Logan, for evicting him from his deceased great-aunt's home. Christine is countersuing, claiming Brian sold her property without permission.
All right, Mr. Logan, the defendant is your mother.
Correct.
Several years ago, you moved into the house that was owned by your great-aunt. You lived with her for a couple of years. She died.
Correct.
She left the house and its contents to your mother and your mother's sister.
That's being challenged in court.
Well, was there a will?
I had never seen the will.
Is there a will?
Yes.
You wouldn't have a copy of that, would you?
I have parts of it, yes.
I'd like to see it.
This is part of it.
Okay. Is your son's name mentioned anywhere in this will?
Nowhere.
You're Christine?
Yeah, I'm Christine.
And your sister's name is Margot?
That's correct.
Well, they got everything, sir.
That will was made prior to me moving in with her.
So what? What does that have to do with this?
What
It's
is
a
it?
will. Your great aunt left everything to your
Well, see,
mother
we're
and her
contesting
sister.
that, or challenging that. This is my cousin Michael, or actually it's her cousin, that she wasn't in full mental capacity at the time that she
Oh,
put
get
that
a
out.
life, sir. What do you do for a living?
I'm a warehouse worker.
Why would you think, instead of leaving her property to her two nieces, she would leave her property to her great nephew?
I didn't say that she left it to me. I didn't claim
Well,
that
if
the
she
house
doesn't,
was
if you're not claiming that she left it to you, sir, listen to me. Your great aunt died,
mine. Right.
and your mother said to you, you know, we have to sell the house. I assume that that's what she said to you at some
That's
point.
correct.
And according to your mother, she gave you some money so that you could find another place to live. Why didn't you just leave?
Because that's not the way it went down. I was given money to buy a truck, was what I was told, for her hitting me in the head with the broom 4 days before she passed away. That's what I was told.
Just a second.
Not me, my aunt.
Just a second. Your mother didn't hit you in the head with a broom.
No,
So who gave you the money?
she gave me the money.
Your mother gave you the money because your great aunt hit you on the head with a broom before she died?
4 days before she died, yeah.
You better get a life. You better get a real life. Anyway,
life.
this is what you have no life. This is what the lawsuit is about. Put your hand down. Did you actually take care of him when he was growing up?
Yes, I did.
Not really.
Sometimes, do you sometimes?
She was
did he
only
have the flu?
16.
Quiet. Did he ever have the flu, pneumonia?
She never did anything for me.
No, she just let you die? So what I'm seeing now is a figment of my imagination. You mean you grew up by yourself?
I had my grandmother and aunts that took care of me. She was very young when she had me.
Who gave you money after your great aunt hit you in the head with a broom?
She did.
What for?
To help me get a truck to help me move out.
And you took the money?
Right.
And you're still in the house?
I'm still in the house. I have up
Just
until I have...
shut up!
Okay.
Listen to me. You just answer my questions.
Okay.
How old are you?
38.
38. It's time that you grew up and took care of yourself, not lived with your great aunt.
And I agree
got
with
an
you.
apartment, paid rent.
I agree with
Paid
you.
rent. So why don't you do that?
She's making it more difficult by
No,
turning off
sir.
utilities on
You're
me.
making it more difficult.
No.
If you're involved in a lawsuit contesting a will,
Right.
and this is going to become the focus of your life for the next couple of years, you are not taking your life seriously enough, sir, by making yourself an independent, responsible human being. What you're saying is, somebody else is responsible for taking care of me, giving me things. My mother didn't give me the proper notice. She may have given me a couple of $1,000s to move. You took the money, and I don't know what you did with it, but you certainly didn't move.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Brian Logan says his mother illegally evicted him from his deceased great-aunt's home. Christine Logan says her son is a freeloader.
Mr. Logan, you say she came into the house at some point. She took a fax machine that belonged to you. She acknowledges in her answer she took a fax machine. She said she was trying to get your attention. You can't do that. You have the fax machine?
Yes, I do have it.
He gets it back. Now, there was some other property that he had that was there that you say you took out of the house and you put in storage. What property?
All the stuff he had in my aunt's garage. When he went to jail for making terrorist threats to me, and I have a tape of those threats, he went to jail for 9 days. During the time he was in jail, my husband and son-in-law, we rented a truck, got all his stuff out of the garage, and we put his things into his storage.
So your stuff is in the storage?
She packed my storage like it was a dumpster because she didn't want to have to rent a dumpster to put all the stuff in the house in a dumpster. She packed it. I should have took pictures of it.
Is it there?
No, not all my things are not there.
No. Is the storage space
No, the storage
still
is
there?
not still there.
Well, what did you do with all the stuff that was in storage?
I brought it back to the house.
Oh, fine. So then you have to give him back his fax machine. That's the only thing I'm dealing with.
What
Now I'm
about
gonna
my
deal with your-
wallet and
What?
my keys?
Why don't you find an apartment? Why don't you grow up and find an apartment and find a place that you want to say anything to me?
I don't have anything to say.
Perfect. Grow up. Did you sell any of your great aunt's furniture?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Because I needed the money to move out.
Are you getting my drift? Do you hear these people? Now, ordinarily I would say to them that's disrespectful. But do you get the communal groan at your conduct?
No, I don't.
Well, the
'Cause until you
property
walk
was
in my
not
shoes,
left.
you
The
don't know.
property was not left to you.
Before she died, she said I could sell the furniture. I was the one who found her dead. All the way up until she died, I was the one who took care of her. I was the one who fed her. I was the one who made breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She leaned on my shoulder. She knew
How
that
much
this...
did you pay her to cover your expenses every month, Mr. Logan?
It's
not an answer, Mr. Logan.
Yeah, I paid her $100 a month, which she lost.
Show me. Show me.
I don't
Show
have
me.
anything to
Right.
show that I didn't.
100 a month, sir, doesn't take care of 2 goldfish. Now, you said right before she died, she told me I could sell the furniture. Is that what you just said
Yeah.
to me? 5 minutes ago, you told me that she could not have made this will because when she made it, which was well before she gave you the furniture, she was not of sound mind.
Right.
So you're telling me she got better before she died?
No.
Well, then if she wasn't better before she died, sir, then how could she make a bequest to you of the furniture that you sold?
If you
Just
knew
think
her,
of-
if
just
you
think
knew her,
about-
she wasn't all there. She wasn't all there.
Think about what you just said to me, sir.
I know what I said
You
to
say
you.
you sold the furniture because your aunt told you you could, right?
Right.
And she was of sound mind when she
No.
told you. So then you had no right to sell it.
Now you're
What
starting
are you raising your eyebrows for?
Because now you're starting to sound like her. You're making me confused.
Mr. Logan, on your claim, your mother is going to return to you the fax machine, period. Now, I have to make a judgment on her counterclaim. What did he sell in the house?
3 chairs, a dining room table, a marble coffee table, a mahogany end table.
How much did you get for the property, sir?
$800.
We're going to double that to $1,600 because I don't believe a word he says. The stress and aggravation, you don't get money necessarily for stress and aggravation. Unfortunately, you gave him life. You have to suffer with that. Some kids turn out right, and some kids don't turn out right. If he had a grandmother and aunts who raised him, they all probably, according to him, did a lousy job because he still hasn't been able to take care of himself. He's a big boy and he can't take care of himself. If I were ruler of the world, he would be out on his behind in a second living in his truck. Unfortunately, he's going to torture you. And I hope that the court that's allowing him to torture you will eventually charge him with court costs and levy against his salary for court costs, and I hope that he's going to have to pay a lawyer. And if he doesn't pay the lawyer is going to levy against whatever income he has, because maybe that will be the lesson he needs to learn to grow up, earn your own money, take care of yourself. Don't expect somebody else to take care of you and butter your bread. We understand each other. Judgment on the counterclaim in the amount of $1,600. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Wait. 63 on the count in the matter of Welch versus Wooten. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
Well, my reading of the complaint and the answer in this case indicates to me that this was a monumental example of bad judgment on a lot of people's parts. Ms. Welch, you want the defendant and his son, co-defendant, to pay for damage to a car that was being driven by your son. It seems to me this was a retaliatory act, according to you.
Yes.
For something that was done by the defendant's either one son or two. The defendant was there in a parking lot. They all got together to rumble. What's going on? Were you there?
No, ma'am.
Who was there?
My son and his friend.
Son and friend, step up here. Miss Welch, why don't you sit down, please? Who's the son?
Me.
Your name is Chad?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are?
Josh Laughlin.
You're Josh. So we have Chad on one side, Josh on the other. You don't mind if I call you Josh, do you?
No, ma'am.
All right. What is your name, sir?
Rusty.
Rusty. And this is your father.
Yes, ma'am.
Your name?
Justin.
Justin, you were there too?
Yes, ma'am.
Ah. But so were you, Mr. Wooten.
Yes, ma'am.
So why don't you tell me, Chad, how this started?
Well, they called me and told me to...
Who called you?
It was Larry and Justin. And Larry...
Larry?
Yes, ma'am.
Not here. Larry and Justin.
Yes, ma'am.
Justin, raise your hand. Step up. Move over a little bit. That's it. So Justin called you.
Yes, ma'am.
So far, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did Justin say when he called you?
He asked if we would come to the video store so we could talk and get the problem straight.
Now, what kind of problem had you had with Justin?
They said I broke into their house.
When did they accuse you of breaking into their house?
About a month before this happened.
Did you try to break into their house?
No, ma'am.
Did you ever try to break into anybody's house?
No, ma'am.
No.
Neither one of those statements are true, ma'am.
You mean that he didn't try to break into your house?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't interrupt.
Yes, ma'am.
It's really not important. All right, so he called you because he said that you tried to break into his house a month before.
Yes, ma'am.
And he wanted to get the matter straight at the parking lot of a video store.
Yes, ma'am.
And so what did you say?
I went to the store because it was the middle of the day in the middle of town, and I didn't expect nothing bad to happen there.
Well, what time of the day was it?
About 12:30 or 1.
Did you go alone?
No, I had...
No, you went with Josh.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody else?
Yes, ma'am.
Who else?
Zach.
So you went with Zach, too, who also isn't here,
Yes, ma'am.
along with Larry, who isn't here. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, were Josh and Zach at your house when you got the call?
No, we was on the way to Zach's house.
Who was on the way to Zach's?
Me, Josh, and Zach. And they called...
When you got the call, were you there alone?
Oh, ma'am.
You were there with Josh.
And Zach was with me.
So all three of you were at your house when you got the call?
No, we was going down the
No,
road.
I want you to pay attention. You received the telephone call at your house. Who was at your house with you at the time you received the telephone call?
I wasn't at my house.
Where were you?
I got the phone call when I was going down the road. They called the cell phone.
Oh. Who has a cell phone?
Zach.
So he didn't call your number, he called Zach's number.
Yes, ma'am.
How'd you have Zach's number?
No, I've had repeated calls from him before, and it was on my caller ID, so I knew where I could reach Chad at.
Was he a friend of yours?
No,
But you knew that the boys were going to be together,
always.
the three of them,
I didn't know Josh was going to be. I know Chad's always with him.
with Zach,
Somebody.
with somebody. All right. So Chad, Josh, and Zach. You reached him on the cell phone, said you're going to meet him at the video store. So you pile in your car, you're in your car already, and you take off to the video store.
Yes, ma'am.
And what was your intention, sir, when you called him?
To get at the bottom of him breaking into the house.
What do you think we pay police for?
They wasn't going to do nothing about it.
So what were you going to do about it?
See if he really did it.
And how did you intend to do that?
Get him to tell the truth.
And how did you intend to get him to tell the truth?
I asked him.
You were just going to ask him. You were going to say, did you try to break into my house? And you thought he was going to answer you. Is that what you thought?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you kidding me or what?
Telling the truth.
Telling the truth. All right. And how many of you went to the video store?
Me and Larry.
But you didn't go just with Larry.
No, my father and Rusty, they followed us because they heard the phone call.
Who heard the phone call?
When we called them, my dad picked up the phone and he heard what Zach and them said they were going to do to me, and that's why they followed me up there.
Well, what did they say they were going to do to you?
And I was granted at the time. He said when I left my house that I was going to get shot, and that's why Dad followed me up there.
So let me understand this. You called him to arrange for a meeting to ask him a question. Why did you try to break into my house? In response to that, he told you that he was going to kill you.
Zach did.
Zach, I don't care who did. Zach did, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And so you decided to go anyway.
Yes.
And not only did you decide to go anyway, but your father and Rusty decided to go in a second car.
Yes, ma'am.
Why, Mr. Wooten?
I wanted to make sure that the boy was not carrying a gun, that he was going to shoot my son.
And how did you intend to find out if he wasn't carrying a gun?
I asked him, which I did.
You were going to ask him,
Yes, ma'am.
do you have a gun and do you intend to shoot my son?
Well, no, I asked him if he was toting a gun.
You said, well, are you toting a gun?
Yes, ma'am.
And so after he confessed to the attempted burglary, he was going to confess to carrying a gun. Is that what you thought?
Well, he pulled up his shirt and showed us he wasn't He showed us carrying he a wasn't gun. toting a gun.
In his shirt?
Yes, ma'am.
Did any of you ever see Bruce Willis? Carries him in his shoe. And
He had on shorts. It was during the summer.
So now we've got two cars going from your team. The adult mature father and one son, and you with your friend Larry, and you with your two buddies.
Yes, ma'am.
And why don't you tell me what happened when you got to the parking lot at the video store?
When I got there, it was just Justin and Larry. They walked out of the video store.
Justin and Larry.
Walked out of the video store. Yes, ma'am. And then Randy and Rusty jumped out of the car and followed behind them, and they started in on Zach, asking him about a gun, telling him to raise his shirt up and all this. And he raised his shirt up, and then they asked him how old he was, because they knew he was too young, and he said how old he was, and they called him a liar, and then he told him he was 21, and Randy slapped him in the face. And after when he did that, they was all coming.
Just a second. Randy, did you slap him in the face?
No, ma'am, I hit him.
You hit him?
Yes, ma'am.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 17-year-old Chad Parker and his friend Josh Lawson say they agreed to a brawl with 17-year-old Justin Wooten and his brother Rusty. The boy's father, Randy Wooten, claims he accompanied his sons to make sure the fight was fair.
Okay. Why did you hit him, sir?
He had an attitude, you know, when he pulled his shirt up. No, he said, no, I'm not toting a piece. And I know the boy was older than what he was saying he was.
So you hit him?
I hit him.
In the face?
Yes, ma'am.
And then what happened?
After he did that, they started coming towards me. All of them was coming towards me. So I got a bat out of my car and ran to the store and told them they needed to call the police or something bad was going to happen, and they refused to call the police. And when I was in the store, Rusty kicked the mirror off my car and kicked the side of my car. Then he picked Josh up and was choking. I don't know what he was doing to him. He had him in the air and wouldn't let him down.
Who had you in the air?
Rusty Wooten.
Rusty. Glad you confessed. This is a wonderful lineup. Why did you have him in the air?
Well, the way everybody was positioned, my dad was in front of Josh and he was walking towards him, and I thought he was going to do something from behind. So I grabbed him from behind, and Justin told me that Josh didn't have nothing to do with the break-in. He was just with the wrong people. So I let him go, and I said, I'm sorry. I apologized, shook his hand, and that was that. I did punch his mirror, but it was because of my only excuse is anger. It was either punch the mirror or punch a minor and possibly go to jail for assault to a minor. So I chose the mirror.
So,
and I'm ready to pay that. I have an estimate on what a factory mirror would cost for his car.
So far, is everything that I've heard pretty much accurate the way it
No,
happened?
ma'am.
Well, he said yes, and he says yes. You say no.
No.
What was different?
The phone call, Chad said to meet them at the video store.
Yeah.
Justin and Larry was inside. Rusty and I was parked at the front door. They walked up, started in the video store. Chad saw me sitting in the car. He turned and ran to his car. And that is when he got the ball bat and was swinging at me and running across the parking lot at the same time, and he was
that
swinging.
before or after you slapped his friend?
That was before.
That was before you slapped his friend?
Yes, ma'am.
So he's running around like a lunatic with a baseball
Yes,
bat,
ma'am.
and you go over to his friend, ask if he's got a gun. You didn't like his attitude, and you slapped, and you, hit him.
Yes, ma'am.
After the mirror was broken, what happened?
After the mirror was broke, I went to leave. And when I went to leave, Randy was stood in front of the car, and finally they left and got in his car, and Justin and Larry stayed, went back in the video store, and when I was leaving, I hit Justin's car with a bat.
You hit Justin's car with the bat. Were you in your car when you did that?
Oh, ma'am, I got out.
Because you were angry?
Yes, ma'am. They already did it to mine and hit them, which I know I shouldn't have did it, but I did.
And then what happened?
We left, and Justin's, I don't guess he did, but Larry got in the car with somebody else and followed us. And he hit the side of my car with a tire tool and then threw it at the back, and it stabbed in the back of the car.
With a
tire tool, with a sharp end on the one side, and then it's got the lug wrench on the other side.
It's not one of my usual pieces of equipment that I carry in my purse. But I assume it made a hole in your car.
Yes, ma'am, in the back and in the right quarter panel.
Was that your mother's car?
Yes, ma'am.
By the way, where was your mother when all this was going on?
At home.
Did you tell your mom that you were going over to the video store?
No, ma'am, when I got the call, I wasn't at home. They had stayed the night with me the night before, and then we left that
Who stayed the
morning.
night with you?
Josh and Zach.
Oh, okay. Now, what I want to know is, at what point, Justin, did you ask Chad whether he had attempted to burglarize your house?
I told him on the phone. I didn't
No. You were meeting at the video store because you wanted to ask him why he attempted to break into your home. And you told me a few moments ago that that was the sole purpose of your going there. And that you also told me that you expected him to answer you. So I've just heard a whole bunch of things going on, but I haven't heard at what point you asked him, Chad, why did you attempt to burglarize my house?
Your Honor, there wasn't no doubt in my mind because my father called him.
So then what'd you go there for?
Truthfully?
Truthfully? Well, of course, don't you see how foolish I'm making you look?
No.
Well, I'm making you look foolish, sir, because I want you to tell me the truth.
To beat the crap out of Chad.
Right! Now we get there. Not just to ask him whether he attempted to burglarize your house. So you went there, not only you, but your father and your brother and your friend Larry all went there to beat him up.
No. Me and Larry went because we knew he had people with him. My dad
So
was just
you
there
went, and your dad went for what purpose?
to make sure there wasn't no guns there.
So he said it's okay if you go and beat him up as long as there are no guns.
Verify, yeah.
No, just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
It's okay if you go beat him up as long as there are no guns. Is that the idea? Yeah, let's just go have a fair fight. How much do you weigh?
Me, 300 pounds.
How much do you weigh?
135.
Is that fair? Is that fair?
I mean, you know, if he's going to
No, is that fair?
I can't, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, if you weigh 300 pounds, and he weighs 135 pounds, and his friend looks like he weighs 135 pounds after a good shower, does that sound fair to you?
He shouldn't
like
put
a fair
himself in
fight?
them situations.
What?
He shouldn't put himself in the situations with me.
That's what police are for. Quite frankly, Mr. Wooten.
Yes, ma'am.
These two people are idiots. Those two people are idiots. You give them the benefit of the doubt because they're young idiots.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not a young idiot.
No, ma'am.
My question is, are you an old idiot? How would you permit your sons to become involved in a situation where you know there is going to be violence? Not only do you know, you anticipate there's going to be violence, but your son's intention is to be violent. How do you permit your sons to do that? And follow them to make sure that it's just a fair fight. How do you do that?
How do I do it?
Yeah.
This between Justin and Chad has been going on for years.
So?
It's always never Chad on Justin. You know, he'll never, you know, I don't have no problem with them fighting fair. But it's always Chad and 2 or 3. You're going to jump on one boy. And
how many children do you have?
I have 3.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a carpenter, contractor.
I've always thought that it was the responsibility of parents to try to discourage the resolution of disputes by acts of violence. And I don't care what kind of violence it is. You say it's a fair fight. People get killed in a fair fight.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's say he didn't have a gun. Let's say he had a knife or a screwdriver or a lug wrench. And instead of throwing the lug wrench and hitting the car, one of your team threw it and it went through the windshield and it hit somebody in the head and they got killed. Well, we didn't mean for that to happen. All we meant was to go there and have a fair fight. Now, that doesn't excuse you two idiots.
No, ma'am.
How many times have you been arrested, sir?
Twice.
For what? Let's make sure we get it right.
Theft property.
What kind of property?
An amp.
An amp.
Yes, ma'am.
And what was the second time?
Failure to appear.
On that case?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh. You on probation?
No, ma'am.
Were you tried?
Yes, ma'am. They just gave me I had to do my suspended sentence, and then they ended the sentence.
When was that?
About a month and a half or two ago.
And when did this take place?
About a month ago.
So you were still involved with your suspended sentence?
No, I did my suspended sentence
So
in
this
the
was a
county.
couple of weeks later?
Yes, ma'am.
The dates on these are wrong. We got the actual police report from where he busted his taillight out at the video store.
Well, I want to know, was it about the same time as he was getting off a suspended sentence, he was involved with something else?
I don't know when his suspended sentence was,
I don't
but I
know
can
either.
tell you
I just
what.
want to know how dumb he is. All right. And what about you, sir? Let's get to you. Arrested? You. Ever been arrested?
No.
You? You?
No, ma'am.
Didn't think so. Figured he was. So you want them to pay for the damage to your mother's car?
Yes, ma'am.
Forget it! Forget it. He had no right to go there. Looking for trouble. It found him. They're not going to get paid for their car, for the baseball bat, for the dings on the car. Good. You have to keep better control of him. Now you can stand up. You got to keep better control of him. Only saving grace is that you weren't there in the car with him. You weren't there with him. This father, who doesn't see anything wrong with what his boys did, I think it was the ultimate act of betrayal as a parent to encourage his two children to engage in a brawl that could have ended up with somebody seriously hurt. And if you don't get it, Mr. Wooten, I'm really sorry for you. We live in a civilized society. We're supposed to anyway. Lots of bad things going on around us. You're not supposed to set a bad example for your children. You're supposed to set a perfect example for your children. And a perfect example isn't, I'll come with you to make sure there are no guns and you can just beat the crap out of them, which is exactly what he says he intended to do. And if you didn't want to be involved with it, you shouldn't have gone.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, good. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may. Your Honor, this is case number 385 on the calendar in the matter of Brown versus Moore. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Miss Brown, this is your son?
Yes, it is.
How old is he?
He's 9.
I'm going to ask Bird to take the young man outside because there are some serious allegations here that I don't believe he has to be involved with or be privileged to hear.
Come with me.
Everybody else can. You can be seated, sir. Miss Brown, according to your complaint, you rented an apartment from the defendant.
That's correct.
Somebody that it turned out you had some connection with historically in your family.
Correct.
And it was a two-family house. You rented upstairs and you lived downstairs. According to your complaint, some issues developed. She evicted you.
Right.
And according to you, kept some of your property.
Correct.
You want to be reimbursed for that property.
That's correct.
Ms. Moore says she's very happy that you decided to sue her because she's been trying to find you. You left no forwarding address when you moved out because she claims you owe her rent. You destroyed her apartment, and she would like to be compensated.
Correct.
So when did you move in, and what kind of a lease did you sign?
It was a month-to-month lease, and we moved in like the last week of February of 2002.
What was the rent?
$650.
And you were evicted in August, is that right?
Really the last week of July, I received an termination of tenancy.
Okay, but then you were told you had to leave August 20th, according to your complaint.
Yes, after we went to court for something else.
Now, why did you notify her that you were evicting her?
Non-payment of rent. And
Tell me when that was.
they didn't finish paying the rent in July, and they didn't pay the rent in August at all.
Okay. In July, how much did they pay?
$605.
Why did you pay $605 in July?
My fiance was having problems with his job, and he wasn't working every day.
Okay, so you were shy $45
right.
in.
I don't even know it was $45. I thought it was more like $15 or so.
All right. And what happened in August? I'm asking you. Pay attention.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. In August, I got no response. So on
What do you mean you got no response?
They don't answer the door. They don't answer their phone.
Is there any reason why you didn't pay rent?
Yes, Your Honor. First of all, the end of July, it all, to me, started with an air conditioner. When I first rented the place, she said she had an air conditioner in the unit. It was in the wintertime. I asked her, does it get pretty hot up there? She said, yes, it does. I have an air conditioner you can use, when the time comes. I'll just prorate the electricity bill. We were offered an air conditioner through a friend of ours, so we took it. Saying that, she was saying that.
Okay,
it was
so you took an air conditioner.
Right.
Go ahead.
Okay, so she said to let her know when I got the air conditioner, and I don't think I let her know that exact day that I got it because she wasn't home or something. But anyways, the air conditioner ended up being in there for like 10, 12 days before she knew about it. She called up to my house and asked me, did I have an air conditioner? And I said, yes. She said, well, would you please take it out? You didn't notify me that you had an air conditioner, and would you please take it out? So 5 minutes later, I took the air conditioner out. The next day, this note was posted on my door saying that we have a 30-day tendency to move because we have put an air conditioner in her unit without her permission. And that's where it started from. So that was dated July 31st, and we had 30 days to move. So upon that notice...
Okay, just a second. According to this, they owed $15 of July's rent.
Mm-hmm.
And the other $30 you tacked on here was for the air conditioner.
For the electricity bill.
Just a second. For the air conditioner, for the difference involving the air conditioner. So they didn't owe you $45 for rent. It was the additional $30 that you say that your electricity bill went up because of the air conditioner.
Correct.
Okay. Go ahead. So what happened next?
So the next day that note was posted that we had 30 days to move. So I have a son. I wasn't working at the time. My fiance was only working part-time. I could not afford to pay rent to pay rent twice, to give her August rent since we had 30 days to move, and I already had put up a damage deposit of $650, and so I was, assuming to myself, well,
you're going to live off your security deposit.
Not necessarily.
Well, that's what he says. You say no, but that's what he says. You had $650. You figured she wasn't going to give it back to you anyway. You might as well use that $650 for security deposit to pay your August rent.
Right.
I got you. Okay. But that's non-payment of August rent is not the reason that she was evicting you.
To me, it wasn't. It was because of the air conditioner.
Okay. Is that why you were evicting her?
No, ma'am.
Why were you evicting her?
Late night arguments with the little boy up there, and there's only, the three of them up there. You're throwing things against my walls. You're breaking and damaging things.
Don't talk to her. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, ma'am. They were doing too many things, and I have my husband, sons during the summertime. We take care of them.
Shh.
And they're loud. They woke us up at 1:30 in the middle of the night, scared my boys because she was going to burn down the house, threatened to burn down the house.
What? They were having arguments.
Child staying on this.
So they were having arguments?
All the time.
That is not true.
So if they were having arguments, why didn't you move to evict them because they were a nuisance?
Well, I had talked with Stephanie a couple times about that. You've got that child up there, you're doing things up there you shouldn't be doing with that boy up there.
You said nothing to me.
You're leaving that child by himself.
I very seldom left my son
out of the mailbox for him to come in.
I'm not speaking to you.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I mean, I think she left a lot of junk, and they certainly left this apartment like a pig pen.
She would have gave me a chance, I would have cleaned up.
No. Pig. Pig. Those things you don't clean up.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Stephanie Brown says former landlord Toby Moore evicted her family and then kept their belongings. Toby says Stephanie is violent.
Now, what did you go to court for?
Okay, after I got the 30-day notice and like August 5th came around, she discovered evidently I wasn't going to pay her rent. So she went and filed an unlawful detainer for non-payment of August rent. We went to court like around the 14th or so, and we were asked to vacate the premises by August the 20th.
No, you weren't asked. Were you ordered to?
Ordered to vacate.
That's
right.
different. Ask and order are two different things.
Okay.
Were you out on August 20th?
August the 20th, around 7 p.m., we were in a process of moving. We only moved like 4 blocks away. I don't have a vehicle. It was pouring down, raining that whole night. We made like 7 or 8 trips with shopping carts, mind you, in the pouring rain, back and forth to our new place moving. But before that, she came about 10 minutes to 8 that evening and said that she was changing the locks on the apartment. I said, well, Toby, we're in the process of moving. Can you give us to 8 o'clock in the morning? She said, you cannot tell me what to do at my property. I can make any necessary repairs or whatever I want to my property, and you cannot tell me what to do. And then she threatened me with calling her uncle.
I just want to know whether you were
her
out.
Uncle, the sheriff.
Pay careful attention to me.
Right.
Were you out of the apartment by midnight on the 20th of August?
No, I wasn't, and she knew that, though. She came and asked me when we were going to be out, and I told her 8 a.m. that morning. And I didn't
just a second, that's maybe what you told her, but you could not be in that unit after midnight on the 20th of August.
Right.
That was the order.
Come and remove
because
us.
then what you do is instead of starting to move on the 20th, you start to move on the 19th.
That's correct, but we were...
I know it's correct. All right, so now what do you claim was left behind?
This is a list of things that were left behind in the apartment.
Let me see. A slider rocker. I'm talking about the big items. Slider rocker, sofa sleeper, large kitchen table, antique golf clubs. What are antique golf clubs?
My fiance had a set of golf clubs, and they were antique. They were like 15, 20 years old.
Oh, no, those aren't antique. Those are old.
Okay, well.
There's a difference between old golf clubs and antique golf
I'm
clubs.
just appraising. I don't know how old they were, but they were very old.
They were very old.
Right.
Old. Old golf clubs and not antique golf clubs. Right, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what happened with all these things?
Most of the things, yes.
Tell me what happened with them.
The things that she left behind, left in the apartment, I took pictures of, and the things that she left and took down to all my neighbor's trash.
She
And I
what?
asked her- She strategically took stuff and left in everybody's trash.
I'm just
down
talking
my
about the
alley.
furniture. I'm talking about the furniture.
So am I.
She telling me she put the chair in somebody's garbage?
Correct.
Listen to me carefully, Miss Moore. Is there a sofa that was in the apartment after she moved out?
No, ma'am.
That's
That
a
is
lie.
Shh. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I mean, I think she left a lot of junk, and they certainly
Yes,
left
she
this
did.
apartment like a pig pen.
No, we.
Oh, yes, you did.
I did
Oh.
because I wasn't done moving. Your
No,
Honor.
no, no,
I didn't
no,
mean
listen to me.
If she would have gave me a
Listen
chance,
to
I would
me.
have cleaned up.
No, no. Pig. Pig. Those things you don't clean up. This, show her.
They shouldn't have been left like that.
I'm speaking.
Literally.
Don't speak.
I'm sorry.
Nobody was going to clean that oven before you moved out, and nobody was going to defrost the refrigerator at 8 o'clock in the morning. Do you understand?
I understand that.
That's not taking care of somebody else's property. So if this is an indication,
And you know what, Your
I'm
Honor?
speaking.
Okay.
If this is an indication of how you were taking care of someone else's property, then I understand her counterclaim, which is you left the rest of the place in a complete state of disarray.
When I moved there, it was like that. She gave me $100 off to clean up. The stove and refrigerator was a mess. I had to clean all that up.
So just a second. So she gave you money off.
Right.
Fine. Now, so if that's
And I was
the
going to
case,
clean it up again after I was in the process of leaving. I don't
No,
leave my
that's
place
baloney.
like-
That's baloney because you didn't have time. You had to be out by midnight. So you weren't going to clean that up at all. Now, Miss Moore, we've already come to the conclusion that you didn't give her a legitimate reason for evicting her. This is not the legitimate reason, according to you. According to you, didn't like them as tenants. Then they didn't pay rent in August, so that you went and you finally got her evicted. I don't believe that she took all of her stuff. I believe that some stuff was left behind. I don't know what you did with it. You want to tell me what you did with it?
The stuff that was left behind,
Yeah, in the
she
apartment.
came and got. And the things, she came and started going through boxes, and I'm like, Stephanie, no. You have to take your stuff. You can't sit here and do this.
When did she come back?
She came back with her mother on the 22nd.
So what you're telling me is plaintiff and her mother came back on the 22nd.
Correct. Her mother came by looking for her, and I said, I don't know where she is. She moved out. And if you do catch up to her, ask her what does she want with the rest of her things. They're out in my garage. 45 minutes to an hour later, she showed up.
And those were the things that you wanted me to have. It was no
Just a
sofa
second.
in her garage.
Just a second.
There wasn't one.
Had your stuff been in her garage before?
No.
So she moved the stuff out of the apartment
Right.
into her garage.
Right, what she wanted me to have.
What did you do with the things that were in the garage?
Some stuff,
No.
the stuff that was in the garage, I put in my mother's car and took with me. Some stuff that was no good, I have a friend that owns a furniture store. They said that I could put the stuff in the trash back there. So stuff that I did not want, I put in the back of this furniture store, trash.
What furniture did you take with you?
I didn't have a chance to even
No,
get my
what
main furniture out. I took nothing but my it was mostly clothes and stuff that I had moved. I didn't get it, the big stuff you move last, and I didn't have a chance to move that.
That's unfortunate. You had an obligation to be out of that premises by midnight on the 20th. Now, she says that you left no couch, that you left no table and chairs, that any furniture that you left, any stuff that you left, she put in a garage. You came by with your mother. Your mother came first, you came second. You looked through the stuff. Some stuff you wanted, some stuff you didn't. Some stuff was trash. Even the trash she moved out of your apartment.
No, it's not.
Sure it is.
Can I call
you
a
just
witness,
told me
please,
that.
ma'am?
Sure. Call him. Your last name?
Tell us.
Go ahead, Mr. Tellis.
Okay, the things, way it went down as far as the furniture that was in the house. Her mama, my fiance's mother, knew where we was at, and we had told her what had happened.
Don't tell me anything that her mother saw, sir.
Oh, I'm not going to tell you that, but...
I want to know why you didn't move this stuff out on the 18th or the 19th of August. You weren't working. If you're not working, why didn't you move?
He was working.
I was working. I was working, but I was working part-time.
Well, it's working part-time, and the other half the time you move out in time.
Okay.
17th, 18th, 19th, so that you're all out on the 20th, so that you don't start moving at 8 o'clock at night on the 20th.
Okay, actually we had prepared to move by boxing up a lot of things, whatever. But we were moving, and about 4:30, 5 o'clock that morning, she put a lock.
The lock was there before.
She had already put a lock on the door, but she locked the door so we couldn't get in to finish taking our belongings out.
You couldn't be there 4:30 in the morning on the 21st.
Okay, but even then...
We had an agreement. She said, when are you going to be out? We said 8 o'clock in the morning. She said she had no problem. When we come to make our last several loads, the door was locked.
But
you listen to me. I don't believe you that you had stuff in that apartment worth $1,500 because you just said to me we came to make our last several loads. Our last several loads is not all your furniture.
No, it was our sleeper sofa, our dresser, our table, our rockers, my golf clubs, my bikes, all that.
Grills, everything.
Grills. We were to move all that.
Can I have that list? Can I have the list? So what did you take? Just a minute.
Like
so
I said,
what did you... So what did you take, sir, is my question.
Basically, we took a lot of pots and pans. We took some rugs that we had. Clothes, you know, a lot of
TVs,
VCRs, but we didn't get a chance to move the big items.
Okay, good. Now, did you have a U-Haul at that night? Did you have a U-Haul at that night?
No.
Okay, now you can sit down. Now, I want to hear about your counterclaim.
Tell the truth.
One more word. One more word. Your case is going to be dismissed, and I will just concentrate on her counterclaim. Do you understand?
I understand.
Who are you?
I'm her husband.
Step up.
Yes, I was the one that mainly moved everything out of that apartment.
Where's the couch?
There was no couch upstairs. There was no couch.
Who knows? I have no idea. I have no idea. All I know is you left the place like a pigsty. Since I really don't know what happened to your furniture in there, I have to rule strictly on the law. And the law is that when you've been evicted from an apartment and you're told to move, you have to be totally out of that apartment on midnight the night of the move. You are not. And you were not out by midnight on the 20th, not because she didn't let you get your stuff, but because you didn't start to move until 8 o'clock at night on the 20th. So anything left in that apartment, even if you left stuff in that apartment afterwards, you can find that that stuff was abandoned by you. So even if they took it, sold it, destroyed it, gave it away, salvaged it, trashed it, or whatever, they had a legitimate right to do that because they are under no obligation to keep your stuff. Do you understand? And again, I'm not sure whether the stuff was there or not, but I am sure that it was there after it was not supposed to be there pursuant to a court order. That's one thing. So that's very easy to deal with. The second thing that I have to deal with is her counterclaim. And her counterclaim is for rent and damages to the apartment. Correct. Well, I think that there are certain damages to the apartment that I can't find caused by them. I certainly think that they left the place like a pigsty and that they have to be fined for that to the extent that they had $650 in security deposit and that at least part of that has to go towards cleaning up this apartment.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Cleaning up and putting it into reasonable condition.
Right.
And I think that probably $150 or $200 is reasonable to clean up that apartment. The problem is you stayed beyond the term of your lease. So you don't get any credit for August rent.
Right.
Which means that you owe her some money to clean up the apartment, the mess that you made, which is a couple of $100. So on the counterclaim, I'm awarding her $200 to clean up the apartment, and I'm awarding you nothing. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is case number 405 on the calendar in the matter of Sharp versus Betlot. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, folks.
Ms. Sharp, you and the defendant lived together for a period of time, according to your complaint. When you separated, it was under unfortunate circumstances, and it is your claim that he kept certain property that belongs to you?
Yes.
And that, in addition to that, he filed an application for a restraining order against you, and that cost you a certain amount of money it was ultimately dismissed, and you want him to pay those expenses.
Yes.
The defendant says that he returned all of your property to you, that the property he retained was property he either paid for in its entirety or most of the money that went towards the purchase of those items. I don't know what items they are. And in addition, you were in fact threatening him on the telephone so that he had a perfect right to file an application for a restraining order. When did you move in with him, and when did you move out?
I moved in with him June of 2003, and I moved out July of 2004.
Who paid the rent?
We split it.
Is that right, sir?
Actually, that is incorrect. The actual date Angie moved out was on the 18th of August.
It was July.
Time flies
anyway,
when you're having a
actually,
wonderful...
he kicked me out the first week of July. Said, you know, we were just not getting along too well. Moved all of my clothes back to my mom's house. Later, at the end of that weekend, he decided he was sorry and wanted me back and brought them all back to his house, our place. And the following week, when he was out of town, I decided it wasn't going to work. And he came home and found me with my new boyfriend and moved all of my, well, the belongings he did give me onto my mother's driveway so anyone could have taken them.
I'm glad to see you didn't pine for a very long time at the demise of this relationship and just moved on, Miss Sharp. That shows that you have an attention span of a flea.
Yeah.
What items do you claim he kept that belonged to you?
He has a wooden futon with a mattress, which
Okay, let's start. Wooden futon with a mattress.
Yeah, a spring mattress.
Okay, now who bought it and when was it purchased?
I purchased that August or September of 2003, one of the first things that we bought when we just moved out. He did pay for half of that. That is the only thing he paid for half.
Okay, so he paid for half?
Yes, he paid for half, which was $400.
Yeah, that is correct.
Where is it?
The futon is at my apartment.
Well, do you think it's fair, Mr. Betlack, that you keep the futon if you only paid for half?
To the circumstances, yes, I do. I was not aware at all that she was not my girlfriend. I came home one...
Let me explain something to you. Judge, therapist, if what you're trying to tell me was you think it's fair because she was two-timing you, is that what you're saying? Almost not an answer.
Yes,
Almost not an answer.
Yes, I have more.
And you
yes.
think that the quid pro quo for that is the futon. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. It doesn't work that way. If you paid for half the futon and she paid for half the futon, how do you expect me to play Solomon and decide who gets the futon? How much did you pay for the futon?
We each paid $400.
How much do you think it's worth now?
Probably similar, unless he's inflicted a lot of damage on it.
You mean it's same as what you paid for it?
I would say. It was,
How old are you?
19.
Futons don't appreciate in
That's
value.
true.
Let me tell you. Diamonds don't appreciate in value. Appliances don't appreciate in value. There are certain things that appreciate in value. Court officers appreciate in value. Right?
I like to think so.
Right. All right, so let's say you invested $400 in the futon for your half, and let's say he wants to keep it, so that's going to cost him $200. What's next?
Next is a Dyson vacuum, which I myself solely...
A Dyson vacuum?
Yes. I myself paid $500 for, and I have the credit card statement here.
Okay, vacuum cleaner. You have it, right?
That's correct.
Who paid for it?
I paid $325, which I do have the internet transfers.
Can I see what you could
Yes,
show
these
me?
are all the items.
Shh, just a second. Can I first see the bill?
Oh, sure. This is a copy of my Capital One bill. And this is my web transaction for the full year. The only time he ever paid me money was...
Just a second, just one
Actually,
second.
I paid him
Okay.
$100.
Okay, so I have this on her credit card statement for $532. Now, it's your claim, Mr. Betlack, that for this item, as well as other items, you transferred certain amounts of money directly into her bank.
That is correct.
That right?
That's
Okay.
correct.
Now let me see Mr. Betlack's stuff.
Anything that he had would have to be falsified.
Let me see your bank statement, sir.
Bank
statement!
I don't have that.
Bank statement. Get your hands out of your pockets.
I apologize. I do not have the bank statement. I did order them, but I did not think that I would have needed.
You think I'm stupid?
No.
Who prepared this? I asked you a question. Who prepared this?
Prepared what? I don't get what you mean by prepared.
This crapola. Who prepared this?
That's not crap.
Show me the bank statement.
Oh, gosh, I wish I brought it because...
I wish you did too.
Angela Sharp says ex-boyfriend Chris Betlock owes for a futon and a very expensive vacuum cleaner. Angela also says Chris took out a false restraining order against her.
What else?
We purchased a 32-inch TV, I believe it was like the 3rd of January, which cost me $800.
Show me that you paid for it. Where are your checks that you've been paying for it?
I paid them online. He pretty much kept everything that I printed off, all of my statements. He has my filing cabinet, all of my tax returns and everything. Sorry.
Fine. You have any proof that you paid for this TV that you're watching?
Yes, I paid $700, and those are not false or anything. And
that's fine. I'll tell you what you're going to do. Very, very easy. We're going to go through these things as soon as you can produce for me your bank statements. If you can produce your bank statements for me, I'm going to give you 30 days to do it.
Okay.
Listen to me. In the meantime, I'm going to continue this case and issue an order. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Very good. What else?
I had purchased a kitten from the Humane Society. He actually would go out of town and take my cat with him. And
well, where have you been since July, madam?
He kicked me out and put my...
Listen to me. Where have you been since
mother's.
July? At your mother's house. Somebody kept my pet. I wouldn't wait 7 months to come to court to get my pet back.
I did. As soon as we went to the harassment court, which I have a copy of the restraining order that was dropped, I asked them about it then, and they said I'd have to take it to small claims court.
Where's her cat?
The cat's at my apartment.
And she refuses to give...
Just a second. Is it her cat?
It is her cat, but she's indicated to me that she no longer wants a cat. She just wants $150.
Is that right?
I would like...
Just a second. Is that right?
I would like the money at this point, yes.
The money you don't get. You taking care of the cat?
Yes.
Very
good. Very much.
Okay, so this is the drill. We have $200 for the futon that you're going to keep, right? So you're going to give her $200. And these are provisional orders pending you producing for me the bank statements.
That won't be a problem, Your Honor.
Great. The vacuum cleaner and the TV are to be returned to her 31 days from today's date.
Can I say something?
What?
The way he returned my property on my parents' driveway when no one was around, I don't trust that he's going to return the TV in any good condition or the vacuum. I would just like to have my money that I put into that.
Sorry, you're not going to get your money because things don't appreciate in value.
No, I know, but couldn't I even get, like, say, like, 3/4 of it? Because he's going to damage it before he gives it to me.
I don't know whether he's going to do that or not.
Well,
Your
he's
Honor,
vindictive.
When I moved her out, my witness, Timothy McNeil, was there helping me, and he can testify that we were very careful with all of her
Listen to me,
stuff.
I don't think that you were very careful, because if you came home and found her, as according to your answer, with a new guy in your apartment, I certainly wouldn't be careful with her stuff. If I were you, I wouldn't be careful with her stuff, so don't give me baloney that you were very careful with her stuff, that you folded it and you put it in bubble wrap. The only other thing that I want to hear about is, sir, why you filed for an application for a protective order.
She made multiple threats to me after that, the fact that I moved her out, that she was going to break into my apartment.
No, that's not true.
I don't want to hear you.
I didn't want my place to get cleaned out. That was the best thing I could do for myself. And the temporary...
Well, let me see what you said when you filed for a protective order. I want to see your application.
I have that with me, and I have...
Shh, shh, shh. Just show it to me. I can read. This says, Miss Sharp, that you called and threatened to come into the apartment and take property.
No.
Oh, yes, you did.
Well, I didn't. I actually
Yes, you did. Sure you did. I mean, I would. Why would you deny it? If you say, listen to me.
He called me, and he called my parents and all of my family members at 3:30 and at 5:30 in the morning. If he was harassing anyone, it would have been me and my family.
Let me ask you this question. Why would he do that if he threw you out?
He was emotionally distressed.
That was the night. I came home at 4 in the morning, a day early from a business trip, found her in bed, unaware that she was not my girlfriend. And that night, I called her parents and her family and let them know what was happening and told them that I was going to be moving Angie out.
No, you didn't.
And
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today...
Did you take the paperwork from the house in August?
No, ma'am.
Had you signed a promissory note and a note that said that you would repay the $2,400 in cash?
No.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Angela Sharp says ex-boyfriend Chris Betlock owes for a futon and a very expensive vacuum cleaner. Angela also says Chris took out a false restraining order against her.
Are you telling me that you never called him after you moved out about your property and your cat?
I never called him. He called me.
Okay, now I'll hear you.
Well, I would like to call my witness, Timothy McNeil, to the stand, because he was with me during the time that...
I asked you a question. Look at me. Did she call
Yes,
you, or
yes, she
was the
did.
conversation initiated by your call to her?
This occurred the day of me moving out and the following day, which would have been the 18th and 19th of August.
And how many times did she call? Is not an answer.
Your Honor, I don't have the exact number, but it was multiple times.
I'm witness to the fact that she placed 5 telephone calls in my presence with Chris, and Chris took those phone calls at different stores and so forth.
You mean on his cell phone?
On his cell phone.
So you'd
and
have
she
record
was
of it.
calling and harassing him over property, and I'm the one who counseled Chris to go file the order of protection.
Okay. There's nothing untoward in this application. The only thing it says is that you called him and you threatened to come into the apartment and take your personal property. You called him some names, so sticks and stones, but he had a right to file for an application for a protective order. Okay, do you understand my order so far? $200 is what you owe for the futon. I will hold the order for 30 days. In 30 days, if you get me your bank statements, then the order for you to return the vacuum cleaner and the television will not be put into effect. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Your papers can come directly to the court. Thank you, that's all.
Thank you.
What is our excuse? You can step out.
All I can say is that she's her mom's, and if she has kids, they're going to be too.
Chris is vindictive and you can't deal with him.
That girl was in bed with another guy I've never seen before.
That's true. We broke up. People break up. He needs to get over it.
The night before, she didn't come back, which was our night before our anniversary. She stayed out overnight.
No. I never celebrated monthly anniversaries with him. He just took it a little harder than he should have.
The worst thing about it is that I really loved this girl, and I was planning on marrying her, and, you know, that's what I was pursuing. And she threw it all away.
And now the next case.
Will you go? Oh.